50 Inspirational Wise Words of Soekarno. Learning without thinking is useless, but thinking without learning is very dangerous. Give me 1,000 old men, and I will surely pull out Sumeru from its roots. Give me 10 young men and I will shake the world. A great nation is a nation that honors its heroes. A man and a woman are like two wings of a bird. If the two wings are equally strong, the bird flies to the highest peak. If one of the two wings is broken, the bird cannot fly at all. Whoever wants pearls must plunge into the depths of the sea. Hang your goals high in the sky. Dream as high as the sky. If you fall, you will fall among the stars. If we have a strong desire from within, then the whole universe will work together to make it happen. Let my suffering be a testimony that even the power of a president has its limits, because the only lasting power is the power of the people, and above all is the power of God Almighty. I prefer a painting of an ocean whose waves are furious than a painting of a rice field that is peaceful. My struggle was easier because I drove out the invaders, but your struggle will be more difficult because you are fighting your own people. This country, the Republic of Indonesia, does not belong to a group, not to a religion, not to an ethnic group, nor to a particular custom, but to all of us from Sabang to Merauke. A nation that does not believe in its own strength as a nation cannot stand as an independent nation. Elections should not be a battleground. Party struggles that can break the unity of the Indonesian nation. If there is still shame and fear in a person to do something good, then the guarantee for that person is that he will not meet even a step of progress. 1,000 old men can dream, one young man can change the world. I am not saying that I invented Pancasila. What I did was to dig deep into our own earth, our own traditions, and I found 5 beautiful pearls. If a young man who is 21 to 22 years old does not struggle at all, does not aspire, does not work for his homeland and nation, such a young man should have his head shaved. I am not saying that I invented Pancasila. What I did was to dig deep into our own earth, our own traditions, and I found 5 beautiful pearls. We are not yet living in the full moonlight, we are still living in a time of transition. So keep up the eagle spirit. Build a world where all nations live in peace and brotherhood. We are a great nation, we are not a nation of tempe. We will not beg, we will not ask for help, especially if the help comes with this condition or that condition. It is better to eat gapok but be free, than to eat bestik but be a slave. I leave the natural wealth of Indonesia, let all the great countries of the world envy Indonesia, and I leave it until the Indonesian people themselves cultivate it. Give me 10 young men, I will shake the world. In my speech, once free, always free, I uttered the slogan, we love peace, but we love freedom more. The time has come to convince the world that I am not a puppet of Japan. The people of the desert can live, we cannot. Give me 1,000,000,000 old men, and I will be able to move Mount Merapi from its place, and give me 10 young men of great spirit, and I will be able to shake the world. I don't know how the unity will be achieved, I don't know how the unity will look like, but the ship that brought us to Indonesia Merdeka is the ship of unity. Do not look into the future with blind eyes. The past is very useful as a beacon of the future. You have often heard about me, that I have since the age of 16 been involved in the movement for my homeland, nation and ideals. Don't you ever feel that the love you feel makes you suffer? Really, God gives love in your heart as a gift and you should be grateful. The rose does not propagate its fragrance, it automatically spreads its fragrance around it. Write about me with your black ink or white ink. Let history read and answer. Two opposite traits. I can be soft and I can be chatty. I can be hard and steel-like and I can be soft and rhythmic. Life is not about I could have, it's about I tried. Don't think about failure, it's a lesson. Before you complain about having nothing, think about someone begging on the street. We are not yet living in the full moonlight, we are still living in the transition period. Stay eagle-hearted. One cannot serve God by not serving one's fellow man. God resides in the hut of the poor. Before you complain about having nothing, think about someone begging on the street. If for example I am given 2 lives by God, these 2 lives I will also dedicate to my homeland and nation. Do not look blindly into the future. The past is very useful as a mirror of the future. If we have a strong desire from within, then the whole universe will work together to make it happen. If we cannot organize food and clothing in this rich homeland, then we ourselves are foolish, we ourselves are foolish. From a positive point of view, we cannot develop our personality culture properly if there is no healthy sense of nationhood. A nation is a group of hardened human beings. It has a desire for unity and has a common character that dwells on a real geopolitical unity. Only a nation that dares to take its fate in its own hands can stand strong. You people really have no compassion for your fellow human beings. What's wrong with shooting the deer? What if the deer you shot still had young children who needed their mother's help? Do you people here lack food? A nation of mere laborers and laborers among nations. These gentlemen judges are not comfortable. Is it not therefore the duty of every national to prevent this situation with the utmost severity? I say that our ideal with social justice is a just and prosperous society using industrial tools, very modern technological tools. As long as it is not controlled by the capitalist system,